Okay, is this good? Is this okay? Is this how we can start? Just hold on for 1 second. Okay, what was the question again? Hello, my name is Ronnie Riemer, and some of you know me as the German riding instructor from the RCI Equestrian, Ocala, Florida in the US and America. Welcome to almost a behind the scenes kind of deal where we from RCR Equestrian, and especially me as the rider, we tell you the story behind Ricky Baby. Ricky Baby, show name Call Me Baby Blue. And I hope you guys enjoy and get a special connection just as much as we do with that horse. Okay, so it started in the summer of 2021 when we were looking to purchase like a medium to high junior, medium to high amateur horse, and we were looking around and basically like scattering with our contacts in Germany to find a really good horse that would be great for the American market. And then a friend of mine actually sent me videos and information on Ricky Baby, and then I started just kind of like researching him. I went on the internet that never lies, and we found, like I found, a ton of videos, and I'm going to show you a couple of the videos in another episode that really sold me on that horse. So it was a long process. So I took all the records and I looked through all the records. I looked through all the videos, and then when I saw in the record that there was a record where he had like 1 or 2 or 3 down, then I cross-referenced it and then I went onto the internet, found the video and looked like, why did he have the rails? How did it come? Was it just a bad day or something like that? So there was basically a lot of behind-the-scenes vetting that went into that, because it was a big investment for us, and it came out of our investment portfolio because he was meant to be a sales horse for the amateur market. So after negotiations and back and forth and all that kind of stuff, like I think it was a couple of weeks that we went back and forth, and it also took me a long time to kind of scout through all the videos. I probably watched, I would say, like more than 50 videos of that horse, starting from 6 years old, 7 years old, all the way until 12, basically like the weekend. Like I even watched the weekend 2 weeks before he came to the States. So then after negotiations were done, we did the pre-purchase exam. That came back with like a couple of cosmetic flaws that, I mean, looking at that record, it kind of was like a no-brainer still to go on it. So we basically found a couple of chips, like there was 1 chip in each leg, and then when I called Julius, he was like, well, of course, like he has 4 chips because otherwise it would be unbalanced. So he had like a chip in every leg, so it balances itself out. To me, that was a good enough of an explanation. What's up, Tony? Are you going to be in Ricky Baby's video? Yeah. So that for me was not to worry about, especially like comparing the images from 4 years old, 8 years old, and then 12 years old of the pre-purchase that we just did. And like they were all in the same place, they never moved, and looking at the record and his accomplishments, it never seemed to have bothered him. So we are now in middle of July. I'm booking a flight, I'm booking the transport, everything, and at this time we're at the World Equestrian Center for the summer series. So I had to arrange with the shipper to basically drop him off straight at the horse show at World Equestrian Center, because we moved the whole operation there with all our students and all our sales horses. So he came straight to the World Equestrian Center. We gave him a couple of days to really adjust. And then I entered him in his first classes. I'll definitely go furthermore into that detail in one of the next episodes. But yeah, long story short, we have him now August, September, October. We have him now around about 3 months, and I think after the first month, maybe a month and a half, we decided to take him off the market and not have him as a sales horse anymore, and just keep him in the RCR family. On top of that, he is such a funny and cute character. He's a cuddle bug. He's uncomplicated. You can come right out of the jump off and basically, like on a long rein, put a little kid on it and just walk him out. I mean, he's a Chaco Blue. He's a 12-year-old Chaco Blue and Drosselklang on the mother side, what has like a little bit more dressage rideability. But he is hot. He is hot. He is feisty. When he sees the jump, he wants to go. But what is also a little bit sketchy there, he is spooky as it comes. So just for an example, poles on the ground at home. I want to do poles on the ground. First 3 times he stops at a pole on the ground. And then my first rounds at WEC were, oh man, it was a disaster. To the point that other people at the horse show were like, are you sure you bought the right horse? But I kept like rewatching my videos, and for me it was a different ball game, because at that point it was like more than a year and a half ago that I rode my last Grand Prix. And in the time in between, I was like focusing a little bit more on the sales horses. So all I did was prepping like meter 10, meter 15, meter 20 child adult jumpers, and kind of adjusted my riding into that direction, like everything nice and loose. And now keeping in mind that this horse has like some CSI 2-star and 3-star accomplishments, but always with professional riders that like give him a good distance, sit nice and straight. It's never that release, and he likes to carry his head a little bit up. So when you like 2 strides out, when I started to just like release, he dropped into nothing and kind of like shocked himself a little bit, where he was like, okay, is my rider still there? Hello, anyone there? And then he was like, yeah, nobody, I can't work like that. So rewatching these videos, like I probably was obsessed about it, like rewatching the videos, like the bad videos, like 10, 15, 20 times, and really just trying to find out where I need to change my riding so that Ricky is gonna be comfortable again. And we're like I said, like I'm gonna go into more details when we go through all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm gonna give you guys like real background information here on that one, because I want you to know the real story behind Ricky. I want you to know it's like none of this like fake Instagram happy family. Oh, we want to welcome the next big thing, and then you don't post anything until you have your first blue ribbon. I ate dirt a couple of times with him, I have to admit, like mostly because of stupid riding at that time, because I think my riding wasn't now properly set for a horse of that caliber. But yeah, you guys gonna get the whole whatever there is. I mean, you know, I'm usually very unfiltered, what tends to get me into trouble most of the times. But I'm also at a time in my life where I don't care if it gets me in trouble, if you understand what I mean. It's always a good way to find out like what is your crowd. You know, I put out a video and I put out a statement and whatever, and the people that go like, oh my God, I know I'm not gonna drink you know, a Coke with them after dinner. You know, we're not on the same wavelength. And the people that think that's hilarious, I'm like, you're the one. We're friends. So this is the feeling that I want to give you with the whole Ricky Baby story. And then one fun fact. I hope most of you guys have seen the Will Ferrell movie Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. And that is exactly where that name was inspired from. So when he came, his show name is Call Me Baby Blue. And then, what is this fly doing here? I'm gonna go all ninja here. Yeah, almost. So his show name is Call Me Baby Blue. And then, like, in Germany they called him Call Me as a bar name, and then at home, because he was so adorable, he was so cute, we started just calling him Baby. But then Baby didn't really suit the character for, like, as gung-ho as he was in the show ring, and like he is a real badass. And then it was more like he always was grippy. He always was like, he likes to run, and like in a jump off he can be blazing fast with like turn and burn. And that whole quote from Ricky Bobby, "I want to go fast," that is kind of like where it came from. And then Chanel came up with Rick, like calling him Ricky Bobby, and because of that like play of words with Call Me Baby Blue, we then kind of went to like Ricky Baby to have like the Ricky Bobby idea, but then keep the baby in the basically in the wordplay as well. So that's where the name comes from, and this is why this series is called Ocala Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Baby. And I didn't get it, but it is annoying. Where was I? Oh yeah, the name. So basically, Ricky Baby, because he wants to go fast. And I'm super excited about the future with this horse. And I would like to invite you guys to have a real first-hand experience. I want you guys to feel like you have that horse in the barn. I want you guys to feel like you are part of this journey. And we're just gonna run with the character, Ricky Baby, Ricky Bobby, like Ocala Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Baby. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.